shake my fanny, I can shake my can. I'm a tough tootin' baby, I can punch all your buns.
Punch out your buns. Punch out your buns.
So Yano had gotten really into Adventure Time and Cake and Fiona, and then Cake and Fiona deals with alternate timelines and people from different worlds. So they actually linked up with they had a baby Finn on their thing on their crew or whatever. So I think baby Finn got left in that spoilers for Adventure Time. And Cake and Fiona. I think that baby Finn got left in like the world where the vampires were in control.
Holy fuck.
So like people on Reddit were commenting on that. They were just sort of like, well, what's going to happen to Baby Finn? And some dude who's like a fucking G, he posted like he made a fan art of Baby Finn as like an adult, like fighting a ton of vampires and shit like that and doing pretty fucking well. I was just sort of like, yeah, they made a Vampire Slayer film. Like I love fandom.
Me and family was ours.
Have you
Oh,
seen? You're an Adventure Time person. Did you see Cake and Fiona?
no, I haven't seen it yet. I haven't even started. I seen like bits and pieces on YouTube, but I haven't looked at it, so I haven't really not dug into it yet. But from what I heard, it's pretty goddamn good. But I just haven't started yet, though.
Wait,
It's not
so
that many episodes.
they just left Baby Finn now? They didn't give a fuck about him?
I don't know the circumstances. It's not like they didn't care about him, but whatever was going on with them was some crazy shit.
That's
They had like this Princess Bubblegum, and she was basically like, what do you call the main character from Terminators? She was like Sarah Connor,
oh,
Princess Bubblegum, and she was taking everything real seriously. Then there was Cake and Fiona. They had a baby Finn, and they also had the guy who was the Ice King, but before he went total batshit insane, Simon.
yeah.
So their crew was kind of diverse, but I don't remember what they were trying to accomplish. I was only watching it in proxy while I was trying to do something else. Probably, I didn't actually see it.
I never really got into it, dude.
What kind of shows have you guys been watching recently?
What have I been watching? YouTube videos, to be honest. Endless YouTube videos. It's actually kind of weird. I think YouTube has kind of replaced TV for me in a lot of ways. I've been watching like them fucking space documentaries and shit. Look, just get you a weird, a calm British guy telling you about outer space and watch you get the best sleep
I
of
would
your
fall the
life.
fuck to sleep, dude.
It's the best sleep of your life.
Oh my god! But dude, I've been watching Cowboy Bebop. It's it's a classic. I mean,
What episode are you on?
from what we discussed earlier, probably like episode 19 or some shit. I've been watching a bunch of episodes. That's like when I go as soon as I walk in my room, that's what I turn on is Cowboy Bebop.
Mm. You know, I will say something controversial. I've never seen Cowboy Bebop in its entirety.
Not all 26 episodes. It's very short.
It's very short. Like
I
you should
know,
give it a try.
and that's crazy because I've seen all of Naruto and it's 700 episodes.
I know,
I've never
man.
seen all of Naruto. I've read all of the manga, but I've not seen.
I've
All
seen
of
every
it,
single
so.
Naruto.
It's
You ever
such a
seen Black
weird.
Lagoon?
Yeah, but
Black
that
Lagoon
was
is
a minute
awesome.
ago.
Huh?
Or Blue Lagoon.
No, Black Lagoon.
Black Lagoon.
Yeah, Blue Lagoon's totally different. I'm pretty sure that's a hentai.
Is it?
Yeah,
I think.
I think so. I'm pretty sure. I think so.
Hold on, let me Google
Well, that's
that.
I'm tripping.
Black Lagoon is Remy and shit. That's
Or
like,
it's a show with what's that? What's that white girl? What's her name? Ryder, Fiona Ryder, Naomi Ryder. What's her name? She was in South Park the movie.
oh my god, there's so many people in the world.
Is Black Lagoon that show with like the woman that's got the shorts on and she like shooting people all the time?
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I do know what you're
I
talking about.
love that fucking shit, bro. That's like
She like thugging. She really out here thugging.
she's a fucking badass throughout the fucking anime. Even in the emotional part, she'll still try to shoot you. Like this part where she didn't run into his fucking nun, and oh my god, they run out of bullets. They just fought fucking fist fighting in front of every goddamn body. Dude was about to break him up and said, "Don't." They was like, "Stay the fuck out the way, stay the fuck out the way," or some shit. That shit fucking funny as hell, man. But yeah, Black Lagoons, that's that shit though. Like that's something you should watch with someone that haven't seen an anime. That's like a good starter anime. That and freaking Cowboy Bebop.
You know, and it's crazy because like I've seen Akira, I've seen all of the the foundational stuff that everybody's supposed to see: Akira, Ninja Scroll, Like I've seen all that kind of shit. Dragon Ball, Yu Yu Hakusho, all that stuff, all the new stuff, Black Clover, to My Heroes. But I've never actually sat down and watched. Even Full Metal Alchemist, and they both came on Adult Swim at the same time.
Cowboy
They-
Bebop used to come on after all that shit like that. Big O.
I've seen every episode of Full Metal Alchemist, and I never ever really sat down and watched all of
Yeah, man,
Cowboy
that's-
Bebop. And I don't know why, because I've always wanted to, just
It's
never did it.
it's a pretty good goddamn anime. It's a fucking classic, bro. You should watch it.
Yeah, I feel like I should. I just always kind of wonder, like, why the hell haven't I ever seen this? Because I always hear everybody else like,
Yeah.
fucking Cowboy Bebop is one of the greatest stories.
I'm gonna say it's
I've
like,
watched it multiple times.
yeah, I
I've
have
watched
to.
it multiple times.
I'm gonna say Spike. That's the only one you need to pay attention to.
I'm gonna tell you the episode I always stop at. You know the episode where the people had the little red eyes thing that they were like. spraying
Oh,
red
you
eyes?
That's the
still?
first episode.
That's the first fucking episode, Chris.
I love that
Red
episode.
Eye, that's the first episode.
That is a good
That's a great
fucking-
episode.
That's a good fucking episode.
I've
That's
never
just to
seen
let you
past
know that was a little bit of world building to let you know that their world is a little bit fucked up and they're in outer space. There's a lot of good episodes. So what's great about Cowboy Bebop is it's not like your traditional episode. Every episode has its own style and theme, and it's also based off the music that they're trying to play. So whether they're dealing with immortals or if they're dealing with like space truckers who are into metal, or if they're even
That's
like
my favorite
if
episode.
they might have an episode where it's like a horror movie where something on the ship is hunting them.
Mm.
You know, they might. Then there's episodes where they show some backstory for their characters. Those aren't very many of them. Sometimes they'll have a character development episode, but it's not very often. And a lot of the character development happens near the end of the series, where a lot of the characters start to part ways, and it shows their backstories and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But it's got one of the best dubs in all of anime.
Yeah,
The English voice acting is amazing
It's
for Cowboy
right.
Bebop.
It's right on. There's no way to fuck it up. It's great.
It's so good.
That's a good anime, Chris.
But yeah, I would not suggest you binge it, but I would suggest you at least come home and just watch 3-4 episodes just because
Is it on
you're trying to
Crunchyroll?
catch up on it.
Yes.
It's gotta be on everything.
Yes.
It's so old.
It's on Crunchyroll. I've seen
Just
it.
bootleg it. Fuck it. Go to. I don't know if it's on Kiss, but what's
You
the
know-
new bootleg site these days? That's a way to not get sponsored, isn't it? Crunchyroll, y'all weren't gonna try to sponsor me in the first place. Don't act like you were. I ain't seen y'all sponsor nobody.
Facts. Like there's an anime that I seen as a kid that I've been trying to find ever since. It's called Armitage. Armitage is the third or some shit like that, and like the girl is like a robot or some shit. She in love with this dude, and he's like a cyborg, and they fight monsters or some shit. It was crazy. It was crazy. I seen it on Sci-Fi Channel during the time in the 2000s where
Yeah.
Sci-Fi Channel showed anime. It's
Yeah.
called Armitage the Third, I think. I think it's called
I
Armitage.
think I know what
the
you're
Third.
talking about, but I only caught like 1 or 2 episodes.
And then there was another show that we saw then where it was like a girl. I think it was called Iria, like Iria or something like that. And the girl was like, her brother had got subsumed into this monster that was immortal and shit like that. And she was trying to find her brother so she could kill him or something like that. And it was set in outer space. It was crazy. I was like, oh shit, this is cool. But like, that shit was like, we talking like maybe like 98.
Oh,
97.
Yeah, that was a long ass time ago.
Yeah.
Did you see Blue Ginger on Sci-Fi
I
Channel?
fucking remember Blue Ginger. I remember
Blue Ginger was gross and it was dope. And
Yeah.
I wonder whatever happened to like, did that anime end? Is there a manga? Like, I never researched Blue Ginger before, but I remember it
I always thought Parasite
being
was
very
fucked
weird.
Mm. Parasite.
Oh, Parasite, yeah.
Parasite was fucked up.
It's
Yeah.
cool. I like their aesthetic.
It was just slice people out.
They spelled
It's-
Parasite wrong.
Yeah. That
Um,
shit. Fucking Steins Gate fucked me up.
I've
Like
seen
nobody
that
told me
song.
they was gonna like do that to that little girl for like a whole fucking episode. I just stopped watching that shit after that.
Same
Spoilers,
game
just
before I-
like-
That was
Okay,
my favorite
okay.
fucking character.
I'll write it in the thumbnail about spoilers for stuff. So don't worry about spoilers.
That'd be all right.
Except for me, don't spoil. Just don't spoil Jutsu Kaisen, and we're straight on everything else. I don't care about nothing else.
So solo leveling,
You can spoil that because I'm probably not gonna watch it.
I'm probably the only one been looking at that shit.
I read the manga though. I did.
I
I sat
read.
down and read the first. I want to say like maybe like 80 chapters of
I did
manga.
like the
Like,
first 30, I think.
It's
like
really
the
like
manga's
that.
good
It's good,
because the
bro.
way the Korean manhwa are like made, where it's like you just kind of scrolling on your phone. It make it so easy
Easy
to
to
just go through
read.
the chapter.
You can see
You'll
what's
fuck
going
around
on.
and read like 40 chapters in like a go. Like, oh shit, that's the chapter. Oh shit, keep going. Boop, 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 boop,
And
boop,
most of
boop,
the time,
boop,
shit's
boop,
be
boop,
free.
boop, boop.
Like, especially like the older chapters, you can read like a good 50, 60 chapters before you have to start using coins or some shit. Shit fucking awesome,
I
man.
got like a little site that I be using to read. Damn it! See, we talk about shit that's gonna get us unsponsored.
Rock that bootleg shit. It's not
Let's
gonna be
just
up
say,
no more by the time people find out about it.
let's just say, much like everybody else, I got my places outside of, the main places where I read my manga too. I think you're supposed to have, your little spots.
That's crazy. I didn't know. I know Funimation and Crunchyroll combined.
Yeah.
That shit's fucking insane for one. And I
Yeah.
didn't know they had manga on they shit. Like up to date manga. That shit is fucking insane.
That's wild.
That shit is fucking wild, bro. It's like I don't know why I was just scrolling around on that shit. And I was like manga, like why would that shit be up there? The shit was up there, bro. Like, what the fuck?
Mhm.
So yeah, it's kind of like inconvenient though because I've used a controller to scroll down the shit.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking about just using my phone to do the shit. It's a little bit simpler.
Man, I love at the end of the week getting a chance to read whatever is the newest manga. It's such a good, what's the word I'm looking for? It's an interactive experience between the author and the fans. Because see, I'm gonna put out this chapter and I'm gonna leave you with this chapter, and then I'm gonna go on break for a week. I see you in 2 weeks. But I'm gonna leave you on this chapter with this massive cliffhanger. And all you gonna do is speculate on what's gonna happen next. And you're gonna get in the forums and you're gonna speculate and you're gonna get around with your friends and y'all gonna talk about it and be like, bro, what the fuck do you think is about to happen? And then when I come back from vacation, then I come back and I totally destroy all of y'all's theories completely.
Yeah, I would see what everybody's saying, then like go off that shit.
Oda, who writes One Piece, I think he just be sitting around. He be hearing what folks think about to happen. He be like,
y'all think so, y'all motherfuckers. Like, here's a fucking
curveball. Catch this, and you like, wait, what?
Right in the fucking face. You never see it coming. Like, what?
I love that, and like I said, it's just such an interactive experience between you and the fans. I remember when we was reading Naruto weekly, like that experience of like, oh shit, they just put goddamn Kabuto and Izanami. What's about to happen? You know what I'm saying? And then the next week when the chapter come out and we as the fans see what the Izanami jutsu is, we like, what?
You see how they just kept on repeating that
It was
shit
fun.
to them?
Yeah,
fun.
it's a good interactive experience in between the author and the fans with Pacifica. That's what's something I've kind of sat on for a minute and kind of been kicking around the idea of doing. Is maybe like releasing it piecemeal, like writing the story out entirely, and like that way I know what's going to happen and you don't, but everything else kind of giving it to you piecemeal. Here you go. Here's a chapter, 2 chapters a month, boom, bi-weekly. Here you go, boop, 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 boop. And while y'all go, well, what the fuck is about to happen here? What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? Nah.
Would you do filler episodes?
Maybe. Because there are, I think filler episodes aren't as unlike most people in the anime
Would it have
community.
significance of any kind?
They gotta have world building significance.
Yeah,
Like
okay.
they can move the story forward, but I feel like your filler also has to have like world building significance.
Yeah, I mean that's how I feel. Like if they're gonna have a filler episode, better have a good goddamn reason.
Yeah.
I feel like you can only have filler if it's extremely entertaining.
Yeah.
Like your filler better be like Goku and Piccolo trying to get their license. Your filler better be like
Luffy on Drum Island with the Davy back fights, which is something that never came into play in the story again. But like for that little part of the story, it was hilarious.
He goes back. That's on like the East Blue, ain't it?
Yeah.
That's a long way back, bro.
Yeah.
Maybe on the second time around.
Right, like, but none of that stuff ever came into play again, and that's fine though, because that made that little bit of filler stand out for what it was. Like, okay, see, even when they having their time off, it's still having a little bit of fun, type of situation. I don't know. Like I said, with me, I also like if it's filler and it like builds the world, then I can fuck with that too. Like, let's say it's goddamn Kakashi motherfucking goes to the Lightning Village because he got contacts there that date back to, when he was young. So like he need to go there and maybe like, help somebody out that he knows that's there. If it gives you a chance to kind of expand the world. So now I'm like, oh shit, who all do Kakashi know then? You know what I'm saying? Like that kind of filler I like too, where it's not necessarily gonna move the main story along, but it's like something that fleshes the world out a little more. Kind of fuck with that.
You get a lot of filler in modern media. That's stuff that's not anime. I notice filler is not necessarily. I feel like anime fans look at their show and they just want their plot and they just want things to move along so that they can tell people what happened or see what has happened in the show.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like with a lot of other shows, we don't really consider it filler, but we just consider it like another episode in the season type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, for instance, one of my favorite shows is The Wire, and there are episodes that don't necessarily advance the plot that much, but people wouldn't consider them filler because the characters are being developed so much. So it's kind of like what you were saying earlier when it comes to it was just sort of like if you have an episode that is like filler, then I feel like you need to develop the characters enough for people to still feel like something had happened at least on the inside of somebody. Like, um, but I feel like people look at anime differently because people. I feel like we have this weird trend where people are just looking for power ups and transformations and for shit to happen, and they're not focusing enough on the characters actually having the experience and sharing that experience with the character. I think that's like so. If you look at a person who like really enjoys like a sports anime or something like that, this is a character. This is a person who really enjoys character. They really enjoyed the journey from getting from the beginning to the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
But if like I feel like a lot of and it's not everybody, I feel like a lot of people that watch shonen are just sort of like, well, hey, if
Why he ain't got no
you
power up
didn't,
yet?
if it wasn't a fight or a power up or etc., they just kind of feel like it's a waste of an episode. But I feel like they throw away a lot of the development that we actually because anime is one of the best genres for character development that there is,
Mm-hmm.
but it's just not as subtle a lot of the time.
Yeah.
You know what's a really good example of just like if you want to call it filler, but like what you're saying? Avatar: The Last Airbender is one of the greatest, I guess you could call it, anime of all time because you just go to like the episode where Katara pairs up with Zuko to find the dude that killed her mom. Like that's not going to advance the main plot of the story along at all. Like that didn't really. This is just a side mission. It's a side mission that Katara and Zuko go on because everybody else had been going on side missions. As a matter of fact, even Aang and Zuko had their side mission where they went to the fire dragons. And
Yeah, that shit was a dope ass episode.
That was a great episode.
That was a great fucking episode.
But like everybody got like their little side mission episodes, and I feel like that if that's what we are calling filler, then yeah, you need that.
That's a good filler episode.
Yeah, and you need that kind of stuff in a story because I don't just want to see my heroes like whoop ass all episode. Like I want to see them live. I want to see them. It's called protagonists at rest. You want to see your protagonist stop doing shit. Put your sword down. Stop powering up. Goku, you don't train all damn day. You know what I'm saying? Like Goku, go get a license and grow some turnips and be a farmer.
But I think that's what's so good about Western comics, though. Also, like in Western comics, you get a lot of like everyday, like you can get to see Peter Parker
go to work,
trying to, yeah, exactly. He's like trying to make a living and stuff like that. He's delivering pieces, he's taking photographs and stuff like that. You get to see like the X-Men, like you see like Wolverine and Gambit like playing basketball and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like you see, like, but at the same time, some mutant stuff is gonna happen. Like Sabretooth's gonna attack the Mansionist, whatever. but at the same time, you got to see these characters develop and what you get to know. What is it like to live as a mutant, as an outcast of society? And all these things are considered.
A real good
So,
example of that, I remember in the cartoon in the '90s, was like Storm and Jubilee and Rogue, like going to the mall. And you like see them going to the mall and going shopping together and shit. And you're like, oh, okay, well, maybe they do.
mhm.
As long as they keep their powers hidden, I get it. You kind of do get some semblance of normalcy, but you still a mutant.
We can
You know
thank
what I'm
Chris
saying?
Claremont for all that stuff. Chris Claremont was the one who took the X Men and like was like really good at like the everyday, and he ran that comic for like shit. Was he on X Men for like 10 years or something? Chris Claremont was carrying Marvel. Chris Claremont X Men was carrying Marvel for a second, but it was what they loved about Chris Claremont's X Men was the everyday stuff,
Mm. And them costumes.
like what you were talking about with Rogue and Storm, like stuff like that. That same comic where it'd be like Storm's teaching Jubilee like how to be a woman, like how to walk and how to act and stuff like that. Then they go fight fucking Sabretooth for some shit. I don't know.
That's a dope.
That's
That's
what people
dope.
love about that comic. What was your favorite comic book growing up? Did you have one? Did you read comics growing up, Justin?
Somewhat. Spider-Man.
Really?
Spider-Man. And our big brother actually had like the comic sec of when like comic book sec when like they did the apocalypse shit when he combined with like Professor X and shit and all like the
Oh,
X-Men.
Onslaught.
Onslaught, yeah. That was so fucking that was a good fucking
And
comic
then
book,
he like
fellas.
absorbed Franklin Richards. And,
Yeah.
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 He
And
like
Nate Gray.
Yeah. He was
that
OP
he
as
like
fuck.
like fucking Hulk ended up with the fucking Captain America shield and Thor's hammer. Like he hit him with that bitch and like it hurt, but it didn't do that fucking much to him.
Mm-mm.
Because like,
Oh my god. I forgot who got the final blow though, cause like I think Spider-Man ended up with a hammer.
It was. I want to say that it was Franklin Richards.
Oh, that
Yeah.
shit was good. That was like one of my favorites growing up. That's a fucking classic too. That and Justice League, of course.
Justice League.
Hell yeah, Darkseid. Like when he first came to Earth, the first time, he
Oh,
really
Darkseid.
really fucked him up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot, man.
We're
Good
doing-
times.
we're
I
talking
always
the
been like a
90s.
big Batman fan.
We're talking the '90s. Fucking Spawn.
Oh, that's fine.
My big brother
Um,
was a massive Spawn fan.
What's the name of the Spawn creator? It's real.
Todd McFarlane.
Todd McFarlane. Yeah,
Sorry for that.
He did
Boy,
Spider-Man
he's great.
too in the '80s. I
Yeah.
think he came up with Venom. I'm not sure,
I think so too. Yeah.
but like But Spawn, I remember like in the '90s, nigga, my big brother used to love Spawn. Like that was his whole like art style. Was trying to replicate.
Did he have the game?
Just like everybody else in the '90s, don't blame him.
The
Yeah.
game was fucking amazing because you can like travel and portals to like different fucking worlds and different rings of hell and
Man,
shit.
I
It was
They
a
built-
fucking good fucking game. And it had all the costumes for the comic books.
Wow.
All of them.
You talking about the one on the Xbox? Spawn
No, I'm
game?
talking about the one for PlayStation. This regular old PlayStation.
I looked up.
The original, the first one. That shit was hard as fuck.
You're
though.
gonna make me edit this shit to find some Spawn footage. That's fine. I'll do it though, unless I can't.
I love
You
Spawn.
will find that shit.
I think just and then when the movie came out, we of course went and saw the
Oh,
movie.
the
Opening
Well, that's our
weekend.
boy Michael Jai White and shit. You know, you can't be mad at that shit. I feel like he should be Spawned again. Goddamn
I think that and Blade what made Marvel do more movies.
Blade is what saved Marvel in the '90s.
Yeah, Blade was that. Ish.
Because they were getting ready to sell, from what I understand, they were getting ready to sell Marvel off or something like that. And that's why all the different studios had rights to all the different movies, like Xbox, well, like X-Men was under Fox,
Yeah.
and like Incredible Hulk was under Universal. That's the reason why that was because in the '90s they were actually that was gonna be it. They were just gonna sell Marvel and just be done with it.
Blade
That
was
gonna
so
be it.
fucking good. The first one.
Blade saved
Oh
them
my
niggas, bro.
god. That shit was so
Blade
fucking
saved
good.
the black superhero movie saved them. Like really, when you think about it,
It must have been
during
pretty
that
good
time.
because they came out with it was a freaking trilogy.
Yeah.
I got a question for y'all fellas though. Sega Dreamcast. If it was successful back then, how would it think it'd be? How good you think it'd be right now?
You're talking about a Sega? We're still making consoles.
Yes.
I mean,
I gotta like really sit down and meditate on that. what would Sega be doing right now as a
Sega-
console maker?
Sega still makes games and stuff, I believe.
Yeah, they do.
I feel like I
And
don't
they
know how
publish
the
stuff.
Ain't they
the
with like Nintendo
Dreamcast,
now?
they would have had to compete directly with Nintendo and Sony.
And
So
Microsoft.
you think
That would be
everybody
hard.
would have came out on top of that deal? So let's say Sega is successful. That means Nintendo's less successful. Does Sega fit into Nintendo's creative slot of being the underdog with really creative properties that still sells shit like hotcakes? Or does Nintendo come out on top of that rivalry and then still fall into obscurity again?
Or maybe
Do they have
Xbox
it?
doesn't
Do they have it
happen.
in it?
Or maybe because Dreamcast doesn't fail, people aren't looking for a third option, so Xbox doesn't happen. So Halo doesn't happen. So
I want to still put Xbox in the equation just because
Xbox still would have came out.
What was great about Xbox is they offered something for the person who wanted to play more shooters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
It was like they opened up the market for the Western, so like Xbox did okay. Even if they like sold 1 to 3 to PlayStation, that's still pretty good numbers.
Fucking Left 4 Dead.
Well,
So I feel
yes.
like that. I feel like because they're over here, I feel like they still would have, and Microsoft, I feel like they still would have did the same thing possibly. I'm not gonna say they're gonna be as big, but I feel like they still would have got off.
I think 3 options.
Halo.
3 options is palatable, but if you give people too many options, they're not gonna choose something.
Something would have fell off. It would have either been Sega or Nintendo. I don't think they could have both lived. Sony was gonna come along. Nintendo and Sony were really gonna work together, but then something had happened with the deal.
True.
Because the PlayStation, the original one, was gonna be a Nintendo system, and then they just said nah. And
I'm kind of glad of this shit.
I think Nintendo didn't want to go with the disc at the end of the day or something like that. I don't know what happened, but it turned out Sony got that, and you know the rest is just kind of history.
Yeah.
Sony is basically top dog right now in the console making business.
I mean,
Nintendo still does a good job, but
the PlayStation 1 and 2 sold like gangbusters. Like who didn't have a PS1 or 2?
I can't believe the PlayStation 5 sold this well.
I can't.
For the price tag, my God.
Right.
It looks like it's totally fucking worth it.
It's still selling the Xbox
It's
like
crazy.
2 to 1 or 3 to 1 or some shit like that. It's
Yes,
still
2 to
crazy.
1, but it's
still crazy.
It's still quite the gap. But I'm surprised that Xbox is like looking to do less consoles, because I would think that the gap, instead of it being 2 to 1 instead of it being 3 to 1, I would think that, and we talked about this earlier. I feel like Xbox should move more into PC territory. They should open up their system a little bit. They should maybe let us get mods on all the games. Let us mod like we're on PC. And I think also they should have the interface and stuff like that. Let their console come off a mouse, keyboard, and stuff like that. Throw us Office or some shit like that. Like make it multiversal. Like you got this Xbox and you got a gaming PC, and it's a PC, and you can still use it in that way. I feel like that would sell better than them just trying to be like, hey, we got games now.
Right.
Because Microsoft got some IPs recently. If you think about it, they got Obsidian, Blizzard, and Bethesda, which is amazing. But it's going to take them a long ass time to cook a game.
Yeah.
It takes a long ass time for each of these 3 companies to make a game. So it's going to be a long time before they have their own IPs like
And
that.
then, even more so than that, are those IPs going to resonate with people? You know what I'm saying? Like, when people get their hands on it, is it going to be something that people going to fuck with?
But they put out popular games that are pretty buggy. Obsidian is very hit or miss. They either put out a masterpiece or a thing that's too eclectic for people to really catch on, like that cult classics.
Right.
And then like Blizzard, has amazing IPs, but they're held back by their business like over company, Blizzard itself and stuff like that. They're very anti-consumer. So like that being said, Microsoft being the parent company could go in there and fix all these problems. You could have Obsidian put out more mainstream and like stuff we know is going to stick to the wall. You could have Bethesda put out less buggy games overall, or let them cook for longer to make sure that the game is right. And you could have Blizzard stop being total fucking dickbags. You heard about the shit that was going on in their offices and shit like that?
Yep.
The discrimination against women and all this crazy shit?
Yep.
Fire everybody.
Yep. All of it.
Just keep the characters in the game. Fire everybody, goddamn.
Everybody will work. Like everybody.
I just go into the building like, everybody get the fuck out right now. That'd be the end. I just rehire everybody. I just be like, all right, so what IPs do we own now? And I restart all this shit. Diablo. But Blizzard owns a lot of shit, right? Overwatch.
This is Activision Blizzard. All right, this is Activision Blizzard. So you also talking about all of Activision's properties also. So you talking about like Tony Hawk Pro Skater. You can really kind of.
You could do it. They could do it. They could come back. But like I said before, it's like it's gonna be a slow burn. It's not like they're gonna come out next year with like 8 new games. It just is what it is. That shit takes a long time.
And even if, like I said, I mean, the one thing, what I think Sony does right is they they give whatever their in-house studios are doing, they give them enough space to cook. They'll be like, hey, you working on a fucking samurai game? Cook. Go ahead. Here's some money. Just make it happen. And from what I heard, I know a bunch of people got mad about it a few years ago, but like they got like a quality thing where it's like, yo, this game got to be of this quality, this certain degree of quality to actually like receive any real, like, if we're gonna push it. Like, we're not gonna push it if it's not quality, because we don't want to put that out there. And I can't really be mad.
Nintendo's the same way. Nintendo will fold even if it's a super popular franchise like Metroid. They'll be like, oh well, we're just gonna cancel it because it's just not the game that we want it to be, etc.
Right.
And so I actually kind of like that. I don't like this industry habit of like pushing out like an unfinished or a subpar game for this expensive and just riding off the hype and stuff like that.
$70.
It's happened too many times.
$70
for us for a professional company to be putting out a AAA game that's like bad quality. Like I was disappointed by Redfall. That fact that I wasn't disappointed by Redfall because I didn't care. I was disappointed that Microsoft would do the same thing that we've seen like Blizzard and fucking,
because that was an in-house studio.
And who made Cyberpunk?
CD Projekt.
Oh yeah, like CD Projekt. Like I can't believe that they acted the same way as they did with this fucked up game.
Yeah, so that's some shit, honestly, that like Naughty Dog wouldn't have, or Insomniac or any of Nintendo's studios would not have even let out the kitchen. And Nintendo as a whole, like, would have been like, bruh, stop. You think we about to let that come out? When Tears of the Kingdom came out, the one thing I never heard anybody complaining about was issues with the game itself. I didn't hear any complaints actually about the game entirely.
It works.
Like,
there's nothing broken about the game as far as I know. It's basically a total improvement on the last one. So,
which is insane.
It's pretty. People are mad about the price tag, but I got mine from Walmart for cheaper. So, it is what it is. You gotta do what you gotta do. Them Nintendo games don't play. You guys got any disappointing games from the last year or two?
Disappointing games.
Any disappointing games? Anything that you messed with?
God of War Ragnarok.
Not God of War Ragnarok, really.
I thought it was a little too short at first until they came out with the DLC. So I can't really say that about God of War.
No, I got a good 50 hours.
Just because of the length.
Yeah,
I got about 50. I got a good 50
hours
in the
Well, what about like gameplay? None of that stuff disappointed you. It was just
hell
the
no.
of the game.
You can just completely devastate a boss to the point where you don't get a chance to swing.
Yeah, you can. But at the same time, I encourage you to devastate the bosses to where they don't get a chance to swing.
Yeah,
because they might fuck you up.
Yeah.
They might eat too much. They really might.
The fact you can get Freya to tag along with you on fucking quests and shit.
And Freya, a beast.
And she's fucking beautiful.
Once you fully level up Freya and like to where she can use her wings and shit, look, Freya a monster. She'll just be flying through the battlefield like Sanguinius, just slicing people up, throwing Bifrost slashes at people.
Yeah, she can launch fuckers in the air and shit.
And you can like combo off of her. So like she like hit niggas with the Bifrost slashes. I come in with Kratos and do that move where he jump in the ground and hit the ground with the axe and freeze everything around him. Or you get that spear. That spear, the coldest weapon in the game.
I used to spear first, stun everything in place.
Yeah.
Run forward with the fucking nice shit. Hit the ground.
And then do that move where he like throw the spears in the air and it just rain down on you. Oh,
that shit's fucking beautiful. Like then I just switch into the red shit and then just set everything on fire. That's pretty much everything like dead in that fucking facility.
And then like if you land enough combo hits without getting hit, then there'll be like a little thing at the bottom that you can hit triangle and it'll like your weapon will like glow with whatever its element is. Yeah. First off, the spear, you can take the element off of your enemy. So if your enemy is fire element, you can be like, woo, take that shit off of him, and then kill his friends with the fire element that they're not strong
Yeah,
against.
Kratos
Or
a
like
fucking monster on there. I think this is
like
like
if they got poison, I love to take the poison off of folks and then murder everybody else with the poison, so that it'll take their energy and take chunks off of their energy once they get hit with the poison.
and why you still hit them.
Bifrost.
Bifrost fucking hurt, but if you can get it on your shit and hit somebody with it, that shit is
You
fucking
cooking,
devastating.
folks. You're fucking.
Oh yeah,
cooking
Atreus and on Freya, they got these arrows right. They put little signals on you and shit. And if you hit them with a certain element, the focus might explode.
Yeah,
They're gonna bounce.
you
the
can
fuck off.
actually trail them together, so you can like tag multiple things with it, and then just kind of have an effect that kind of goes in a trail. So like I'm gonna burn all of you guys at one time or something like that. Like the fighting system on that shit is phenomenal.
It's fucking beautiful.
It's so deep that
The conversation.
when I stopped playing it for a while, I like lost skills, so I had to kind of come back and go back and play it for a while, and kind of get back up to par.
I'm gonna
It's
play.
like,
That's it. I'm just gonna play DLC now.
look, that spear,
That
like
spear is fucking fun,
the
bro.
ice axe is cool enough. Like we all know,
I like the Blaze of Chaos,
We all know
bro.
the Blaze of Chaos, but look, that ice axe lets you can cook with that ice axe. You can really
Yeah.
cook with the ice axe. But that damn spear, the moment I got it, the dude Brock makes it for you. He says, you know how to use a spear? And Kratos looks at him and goes,
"That's the first weapon we use in
He's-
training."
yeah, he's like, that's the first weapon any Spartan that's the first weapon any Spartan ever learns how to use or something like that. And then they drop you on this beach full of enemies and they kind of let you tutorial through how to work the spear.
Motherfuckers like
I was on the beach, boom, 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 boom. Give me your element.
you
Boom,
can
boom,
throw
boom,
them
boom, boom.
shits right,
Bam.
and then stick it to your enemy.
And
you
then
can take
you
the
can
staff
explode
and hit
it.
the fucking ground. Them shits and start exploding inside of them and shit. That shit's fucking crazy, bro. That's a good. It's a good fucking battle system and shit. And for the simple fact that you got a support character with you at all times, just about.
And they're not worthless. Sometimes I done found my ass getting kicked, and goddamn Freya out here whooping ass. Freya, they're not like Donald and Goofy on Kingdom Hearts. Remember how Donald and Goofy, you Sora, you whooping everybody's ass around you, and Donald and Goofy, you like, what the fuck are y'all over here doing? These guys ain't like that.
You can be running towards something. You can have a trace like shoot a whole bunch of arrows while you run and slow them down.
Mm-hmm.
Knock the fuck out of them. That shit fucking mad.
Sometimes Atreus will goddamn run up with his bow just straight up, and then just start slapping motherfuckers. Bow. Like
The motherfuckers will bounce off the ground and shit.
Look, and then later on in the game, he get this sword. So the sword got a mind of its own. So the sword just attack. So Atreus just run into battle, and the sword be like,
Tony, I promise you, we could spoil this whole entire game for you right now. You'll still play that shit.
I prefer if you didn't.
I won't, dude. We won't. It's just a good fucking game. So
Be surprised when some shit happens.
I ain't saying that Elden Ring wasn't great, but I'm just saying God of War Ragnarok should have been Game of the Year because it was amazing.
If it would have came out earlier.
I do agree.
If it would have came out earlier.
God of War came out in November, and Elden Ring came out like January, so people had the whole year to sit on Elden Ring. I think that's the only reason why they chose it.
After playing Elden Ring, the level of content they have in this game is
it's so much content in that game, bro.
Their color. So if God of War took like 50 hours, Elden Ring's probably got like 120, 150 hours of content.
That's just a regular fucking game.
That's crazy.
It's none of the side shit or nothing like that. It's a bunch of
Elden Ring's a hardcore ass game though. Like
yeah,
satisfying to play. That's satisfying to kill enemies and level up and stuff
it's
like that.
It's the challenge, man.
But it's extremely frustrating that you can't stand against 90% of the world when you first jump in there.
Unless you like crazy.
It's a fucking like
this guy's over here trying to coach me through a dragon fight. I'm at like level 5. I was like, bro, I gotta be at like higher level to beat this dragon. He's just sort of like, oh yeah, you can do it if you do this and that. And I'm just sort of like, this dragon's like stunning me by landing and shit like that. He's huge. I can't get close to him.
Pseudosax or something like that.
No,
Lightning dragon.
Nah.
Regular ass dragon.
I'm looking for that fucker right now.
Regular ass dragon, bro. I'm level 5.
Oh yeah, it's like
Terry showed me that
with a short dagger. No.
Yeah.
This nigga Terrence, he be showing me like the bosses he done fought on Elden Ring, and I'm like, this fucking Christ.
What the hell is that?
He showed me like that's what I thought. That's what I thought you were
I ain't
fighting.
killed
That
no
lightning
bosses in
dragon.
that game.
Man, it be so fight. It be
I
some
ain't killed
fights in
no
there, man.
bosses.
You just be breathing hard. Like it was like I was here and I was playing fucking playing Elden Ring, fighting the twins and shit. Tony sitting there kept me like just coach me with that shit because that shit was fucking hard as hell, bro. But that shit was fucking intense. Like it's a hard fucking game, bro. And then when I restarted on my system, I had to do that shit all over again from scratch. I had to fight all of them all over again, man.
Really?
Really, I had to fight the twins again. But I had a stronger sword though. I had a stronger sword. That moon chick, man, Melina, whatever her fucking name is,
Oh, Randy.
Randy. Yeah, it was fucked up what happened to her.
I was gonna work with her.
Yeah, she's a good one. That's how you get that sword,
I was
man.
gonna get her ending.
That dark moonlit blade. That shit is awesome.
She's cute.
Yeah, now she is.
And like a
But the thing is, after you finish
corpse
that part,
ride.
you have to fight her guards. Like the wolf dude, the wolf dude that be with her, you have to fight that bitch, man. That motherfucker after she dies, bro. That shit is fucked up.
Isn't there more than one beast person with like a wolf head in this game? Doesn't someone else have one of those too?
King.
No, he's part of some of the missions you go on. It's like when you go in the underground, you can run into him too. He'll tell you about Vanguard or Mogard or some shit. Man, it's a lot of shit in that game because it's like another whole level of world underground and shit. It's a lot. Then after you fight a certain boss, it opens up the rest of the fucking map because when he dies, he like a whole meteor hit the ground and like the whole map, a whole big ass hole in the ground. You have to jump down that shit. It's a lot, bro. It's like a river of blood and shit down there.
Isn't there a boss who summons meteors just because? The
Yeah,
giant
it's
guy?
him. Like he's like boss number 3, I think.
You talking about Rodon?
Rodon.
Yeah.
His armor. That's the armor I've been using. That big ass gold, clunky gold shit. That's his fucking armor. And his bow and arrow. He wasn't that hard to beat though. As long. Nah, that fucking was hard to beat. Hell yeah. But I think I had most trouble with the damn dragons though. The dragons the worst. That and getting Black Teach. Black Teach took me a while to get, bro.
Your summon.
Yeah, my summon. I love that bastard.
Summon.
Yeah, like certain boss fights, you can like you have a familiar. You can find these familiars and shit. They like spirits is like 3 damn different tiers of them shits, and the Black Teach is like one of the highest tiers, especially after you max them out and shit. So, he got this move where if he hits you with his shit, like the target catches on fire and it like take chip damage while hitting him. He can do that shit stat, so he can do it multiple times and shit. So like you and him can kill shit real quick, so you don't have to have no kind of other support. But it's a lot to that game, like a lot of people don't beat it and shit and everything, but it's still a fun game to play though. I haven't beat it myself though, cause like I lost my patience for it for a while. Like I'm back over there, that part I was at trying to kill all the fucking dudes, and I'm lost. I don't know where to go. For real, like in every corner, it's like something's trying to kill you. Not no regular enemies. It's like a mini boss almost. They fucking tough. Like something you just can't cut at.
I remember when I first got my PlayStation 4, I got Dark Souls 3.
Oh, Dark Souls 3 was fucking beautiful, bro.
It was. I'm gonna tell you that. So,
Yeah.
the
How far
first,
did
at
you
the
get?
very, very, very beginning,
Oh, with
I
the
find
tutorial?
myself being. Oh no, I was past the tutorial, past all that stuff.
Did you
But
get
like the first boss,
Oh, the
right in the
first
stage where you fight the first boss.
that
So I'm-
fucking giant knight with the spear and shit.
I'm going through. I get to the campfire. I fought the first couple enemies. I won. I get to the campfire. I'm like, all right, I'm not be able to do this shit.
Yeah,
So I keep on going through, and then I got to some more enemies. I said, oh shit, it's like 80 y'all niggas. Oh, this isn't fun. Hold on, wait. Oh
Right.
shit. Then them niggas proceeded to run my pockets
Yeah.
multiple times. I said, hold on, wait. I might need to. I'm gonna put it down for a second and try to think about what I wasn't doing.
Like you have to know
Like,
your swing is gonna stagger them or something. If not, they're gonna cut the fuck out you or some
Yeah,
shit, bro.
yeah.
But like, hell yeah, Dark Souls 3, like I beat that. That was fucking fun. That's just like you go to this part and you fight this like boss called the Nameless King, and this bitch is like he comes to the damn like the arena and on a fucking dragon and shit, and you gotta knock him off that bitch. Then after you beat him the first time, he fuses with the fucking dragon. And you have to fight him again with a full health bar.
The nigga did the fusion dance with the dragon.
He absorbed the fucking dragon. He killed the bitch and absorbed his fucking ass. That shit took me about like a week and a half to beat, bro.
The fuck?
Yeah, that's a good fucking game. I did it with no help though.
So if you knock him off the dragon, he'd be an asshole about it and kill the dragon like it's the dragon's fault.
Yeah.
And he was a bitch.
And all this moves like reach across the screen and shit.
That remind me of that Sephiroth in Kingdom Hearts 2 shit.
I-
When you go to fight Sephiroth in Kingdom Hearts 2, all his moves can attack you from all his moves are close range and long range. Have fun.
From Kingdom Hearts.
Yeah, Kingdom Hearts 2.
Yeah, you need to like.
He's an awesome bad guy,
You
bro.
need to like look at his sword and look at the shadow and try to decide how far away is him not enough for him to stab you to death.
Because he's
Because you need to hang out right outside that range. If you're too far away, he'll just cast magic on you and you'll lose all your HP and MP.
Yeah. Yeah, because there's that problem too. Like,
I never
oh, yeah,
really
by
got
the way-
into Kingdom Hearts. I really
Yeah,
like. I'm always was like a Final Fantasy fan.
You, as a Final Fantasy fan, you'll love Kingdom Hearts 2 because it's got Final Fantasy characters in it. And they whoop
I don't
ass.
like Disney
Kingdom
characters,
Hearts
bro.
3 kind of falls off. All you gotta deal with is Mickey, Donald, and Goofy.
Right.
Oh, well, I take that back. So a lot of the worlds are Disney worlds, but they pick their pick of Disney characters is pretty dope. The only world you'll probably have a problem with is the Little Mermaid
World.
because
the
it's
only
quite
one.
musical.
Yeah.
But besides that, like you
Oh,
go to
geez,
the
yeah,
Lion
wow.
King world, Sora gets transformed into a lion, and you still got your Keyblade in your mouth, and you guys
Even-
are fucking shit up.
Yeah.
All these characters that you pick up along the way in these worlds become your
Oh, so
summons.
level up.
You get a dope ass summon attack with them. You go to the Nightmare Before Christmas world.
And Jack
and
Skellington joins your team.
He's a dope ass mage. He uses ice, fire, and lightning, and they're quite hilarious.
Damn.
He's a tall, lanky motherfucker running around the battlefield too. So
Just
it's
hit
quite
niggas with
hilarious.
lightning. I swear to God, it's
Yeah.
the funniest shit you ever seen. Boom! Just hit a nigga with a lightning attack. You
That
be
sounds
"What, is
fun
that
as
Jack
hell."
It's a good
Skellington?"
game.
That's fucking hilarious.
And then when we're actually talking about the Final Fantasy characters, you fight alongside the likes of Auron, Tifa, and Squall.
And Cloud.
Yuffie.
Fight with
Yeah.
Yuffie.
Yeah, Yuffie's
Fight
in the
with
game.
Yuffie.
You live fight alongside her. You can fight against her. And Yuffie and Squall are a team for some reason, even though they're from different Final Fantasies. They know
That's
each other
very
and they're cool. And you have to fight them as a tag team inside Hades Arena and shit like that.
Yeah, that was raw. And then later on, you fight Cloud. And then later on, Cloud kind of works with you. I think that's in Kingdom Hearts too.
He's
where
got
you work with
Sephiroth's other
Cloud.
wing for some reason. I don't know
Yeah.
the lore of Final Fantasy in that game, but I think one of the major reasons I didn't play Kingdom Hearts 3 is just simply because of the lack of Final Fantasy characters.
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite things about the Kingdom Hearts games is the cameos. And
Yeah.
the fact that Noctis was not in Kingdom Hearts 3. I was
It's
just sort of
corny.
like, why
That was
not?
corny.
I
That
was like, why
was-
the fuck not?
That's like such a missed
They
opportunity.
should have had Noctis in there and at least two of his homeboys,
Right.
if not all of them.
Like
Noctis,
that's like one of the
Gladio.
coolest crews.
Or
Final
Lightning.
Fantasy.
Put Lightning in there too, goddammit. Like,
Light-
why are the newer Final Fantasy characters not in?
I thought Lightning was so fucking cool.
She was.
They are.
You
All
know,
the
they
new
started
Final
out-
Fantasy characters are cool.
Do you know they were trying to make a girl version of Cloud when they made Lightning?
Yeah,
Oh,
it
bro.
worked.
That actually makes sense.
Yeah.
It works.
And when you think about it, lightning comes from the clouds. So
I didn't think about that at all.
like well, I guess that's headcanon, but now I remember reading that some time ago where a guy was like, yeah, he was trying to make like essentially the girl version of Cloud, and that's what Lightning is supposed to be. I was like, that's interesting. Maybe she is, huh?
She's one of
Kinda
the
is.
few characters that got a second game, so you can tell she's popular.
Yeah, she was on. What's that shit called when it was all the Final Fantasy characters?
Dissidia.
Yeah. As a
City.
matter of fact, she got a third game too.
That game was
I
so
know
much
that.
fucking fun.
It's like
Never played it.
13.2 and 13.3, I guess.
Hmm.
It's like Lightning Lives and Lightning Returns or something like that.
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Lightning was a fucking monster, and she had like that.
You know who
fucking-
else had 2 games?
Final Fantasy 10. Got
Final Fantasy X.
you.
Yuna. The Yuna Final Fantasy X Part 2. Where Yuna goddamn
Was the
is
main
the main
character.
character, and it's like her and her crew of girls, and it's like dress up,
Yeah.
but it's dress up with classes.
It's a good game.
Yeah,
It's girly though.
It's girly as fuck. Yeah, I hope you.
It's like Sailor Moon
I didn't bother.
because they have transformations, but
and it's like
it's like Final Fantasy V though, because Final Fantasy V also had a job system.
Yep.
So they basically ripped that,
hmm
made it pretty, and gave them Sailor Moon transformations.
hmm
It's a good game. I believe
Right.
the hell of it's into.
If you get the right ending, she finds Titus is still alive and like they're like in love and shit.
I didn't like
I
that.
didn't like Titus. I like Aaron better, bro. I thought Aaron was so fucking cool.
I don't like endings that are that good.
Nah.
I like the original ending where it's just, oh, that guy's not Titus. It was just some dude, asshole who looks like Titus who's even further from the past.
Mm.
We had a tragic backstory. And we got to kill him, otherwise he's going to destroy the world.
I
I like that. I prefer that than Titus coming back alive. Like, you could do that shit by 100% in the game, but it wasn't worth it. It wasn't well explained, and it's the same thing. Like in one of my favorite animes, it's called Future Diary. You ever heard of that shit?
I heard him. I never watched it though.
It's like a death game, like a battle royale to see who's going to become the next god of space and time because he's got to retire every few thousand years. So like the person, spoilers for Future Diary, the person who wins has to sacrifice his lover in order to win. So he's very depressed and he just like lets the world end and he just what's the word I'm looking for? Where you just sit in sadness.
Oh, he like dude on Final Fantasy VIII.
He just sulks for like a few hundred years, and then after a while, he starts to begin the process of creating the new world, and that's how it ends. So people didn't like that ending. I thought that shit was dope. People didn't like that ending, so they made an extra episode where the girl comes back to life and they are happy. What a cop out!
That was a
Y'all ain't need that extra episode. Let him be miserable for a few hundred years and start
I'll
making
say
the
like
world. That girl did not deserve to come back. Maybe her parents were abusive to her. Maybe she was in a cage. That girl was quite the prolific serial killer.
Oh,
I don't know if you guys ever seen Future Diary before. You know, is extremely murderous. She's what we like to call she's not a tsundere, she's a yandere.
oh.
Yeah, how yandares are. She's one of those. She's like the original yandere, damn near. So I would say if you guys haven't watched it, check it out. It's only like 20 something episodes.
Oh, that's something.
It's
Future
a
Diary
death game.
was-
Yeah, Future Diary is weird as fuck,
Right in my
but it's a
notes.
good ass show. It's called Mirai Nikki, and it's a Japanese word. It's in like my top 12 animes of all time. I like weird shit like that. So basically, what's dope about the show is like the god of space and time is trying to pick a successor, and he picks a certain amount of people, and basically he gives them this power. Your cell phone. So in your cell phone, you can see the future, but everybody's got different ways of seeing the future. So basically, the main character, since he's got this journal where he writes down the world, his future diary can see the future of everything around him except for him. He doesn't know his own future. So there's this girl that's been stalking him named Yuno. Her diary only knows what's going on with him. There's a criminal who's like a terrorist. She's got the escape diary. She always knows how she's going to get the fuck out of there. There's a detective playing the game. He's got the crime diary. He always knows what futures are going to be committed in the future. There's a serial killer, and the serial killer has his serial killer diary, and he always knows who he's going to kill in the future. It's such a good show, but it's got a lot of twists and turns, and it's not perfect, but it's quirky enough for me to really enjoy it and glad that it was something different.
That ending is fire though, where the girl dies, and like I feel like as an author,
She had it coming.
you gotta.
I'm not going to tell you what she did, but
yeah. And also like as a writer, I feel like you gotta like if you're gonna do some shit, you gotta stand on it, bro. Stand on that shit. If I killed off your favorite character,
will you guys still
stand
watch it
on
if I give you the big spoiler? You probably aren't going to watch it anyway. I'm going to give you the big spoiler. Here's the big spoiler for Future Diary. This bitch has played this game. This is her second time playing the game. The first time she won, and she killed Homeboy, but she was in love with him. So as the god of space and time, she went back in time and played the game again. She murdered herself and took her place. Yeah, she killed the one from this timeline and took her place and tried to play the game again so that they'll both win. But she already played the game one time and won.
So she already knew what was going to happen anyway.
The one from her present time had already killed her parents by the time she came back there.
Oh,
because she had abusive parents, she murdered her parents.
That's
so
hard.
that the original one already murdered parents by the time she got there. So she murdered her parents in both realities.
Holy shit!
But they were extremely abusive. They used to like lock her in a cage and stuff like that and shit.
But that's
the
such a fire twist.
When they were trying to survive the game together, the main character and they were like sleeping at her apartment. And she was like, his diary was just sort of like, bruh. He goes inside this room and he sees something that makes him fucking want to leave. And he's just sort of like, I know I probably shouldn't have read that. and I know I'm safe here, but I can't get over this fucking passage. My diary tells me that I should go in here and look. So he goes into the room and sees her parents way past decaying corpses. He runs his ass all the way fucking home. He's all out of breath. He like gets home. He closes the front door, slams it, and he's just like sitting there at the front door. And the next thing you know, the mail slot opens, and she's just like, "Sweetie, you didn't say goodnight. Good night, dear." Bruh, it's such a good anime. He's so fucking terrified. Her name is Yuno. She's so fucking murderous. She kills dozens of people during the course of the show.
Damn.
She's awesome. Little pink haired girl. She's on the side of my van with a knife.
Little pink girl, she can do what she can.
She's fucking. Sorry for talking about Future Diary too much and spoiling the entire anime, but I still think you should watch it.
She's a pink girl. She can do what she can.
It's one of the weirder. What's some of the weirder animes that you guys have seen in terms of like your favorites? Like, what's the weird ass?
Space
anime?
Dandy. It's fucking weird.
Space Dandy's fucking awesome.
It is awesome. But it's weird as fuck. It's good though.
What's Shikugan no Shana?
Shikugan no Shana, some 2000 shit with some girl with red hair and like this familiar and this sword made out of fire that had like fire powers, and she had like a jewel thing on her neck, and like she was like fighting monsters. And shit was cool. It was cool, but it was obscure as fuck. Completely obscure. Like, I be saying it to people, and they be like, Shauna, the fuck is that?
Have you ever seen Space Dandy?
What is Space Dandy?
What?
Space Dandy's like Cowboy Bebop on crack.
Yeah.
He's like a lady smashing
it's like
space
Cowboy
captain.
Bebop and Fully Cooley like mashed together.
Mm-hmm.
What is, have y'all seen, what is that show about the dude? Is it Golden Boy or something
Golden
like that?
Boy. Oh my God. I watched that shit with Tony. Oh my fucking God.
So I found out that these guys, him and Carl, had never heard of Golden Boy before. So I was just like, this will not pass. We must. So I had them come over here and we all watched it. It's like 6 episodes. It's like one of my favorite animes of all time. I know. Did I show you that shit too?
I watched it. I'd already watched it.
That shit fucking funny.
But that was one of the things that when we first started hanging out, you were like, "You seen Golden Boy?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah, I seen Golden Boy."
I love that anime.
Look, Golden Boy so goddamn cool. He has, as the kids would say, so much riz.
Next level.
Look,
they don't even want his ass until they realize that he's fucking awesome.
Like, right.
And then he be gone.
This nigga rode a bicycle on top of the power lines while the girl was chasing behind him. Like, bro, come on, come back. I forgot what his actual name was.
Keitaro or Kentaro or something.
Kentaro
like
or some shit like that.
Look,
but dude, like,
Kentaro.
He was fucking weird though. Like Shorty, like he fucked up or something. Like Shorty spit at him. He just swallowed that shit. He caught it in his mouth and like.
Yeah. He's also had this thing for toilet seats where he'd like if it was he knew a sexy ass chick used to sit in the toilet seat. He couldn't resist. He'd always end up cleaning the bathroom. He'd see the toilet seat and be like, "Oh shit, well she sits here. I can't do it. I can't do it. I can't do it." And then he'd start hugging the toilet seat, drinking the water and shit like that. Like he couldn't help himself.
Like a weirdo.
And he'd get caught every time too.
Every single time.
That shit is fucking funny, bro.
Nah, Golden Boy is hilarious.
I'm sorry, I'm a pervert, but I ain't hugging the toilet seat, dog.
Nah.
They be having them bidets and stuff like that. I still don't want none.
That was a good fucking that was a good fucking anime, fellas. That shit.
Fucking Witch Hunter Robin.
Yeah.
I never finished it, but it was. I love the colors.
As a matter of fact, all of them 2000s Adult Swim anime, Scribe, Wolfrain.
Top tier, dude. I'm surprised more people don't know about Scribe. It was so good.
I never heard of it.
Scribe was hard.
Never seen it.
Like the main character had like this like fucking biomechanical arm shit going on.
You need to write that shit down on your phone. Scribe is right up your alley. That'd be one of your favorite animes. Dude.
I'm trying to tell you.
The final fight. There's 2 main characters, and then they don't fight till the last episode. For real, fight till the last episode, and they beat the ever loving shit out of each other.
That shit one of the best fights.
It's one of the best fights in anime history. You gotta be like, top 3, top 5.
Like it's like in the top 5 automatically. Like that fight is fucking incredible. Like,
it's really you'll love the show. It's really good. It's definitely different.
Scribe is cold.
There's a lot of asshole characters in it.
They really are.
Both of the main characters are kind of assholes, debatably.
They really are.
They're not bad people.
They're just assholes. I'm trying to think. Like that whole lineup was stupid in during that time.
Oh
like,
yeah, Outlaw
Scribe,
Star, dude.
Outlaw Star. Full Metal. They dropped Full Metal not too long.
They had
After.
Inuyasha. I don't think you're a fan of Inuyasha. Inuyasha was like pretty cool when it first was coming on. It
Yeah.
was one of the first isekais,
Mm-hmm.
if you will.
That is funny. It is funny.
And
Yeah, I guess
they had
Inuyasha
dope
is.
openings. They had dope outros. I used to watch Inuyasha just for the music. Be like, oh shit, they got a new outro. Every heart and shit. Let's rock. It fell off though because I figured the show was never going to end. So I was waiting for the plot to move along, and they decided that was not a thing that they wanted to
do for multiple years at a time. Like, oh yeah, I'm done here.
I mean, I couldn't complain too much at the time because as a kid, I watched Dragon Ball reruns like every season. Remember when they run out of episodes of Dragon Ball to be dubbed, so they played the same season like again for like a year.
Yeah.
But it took us so long to get past.
Then I remember they finally
Toonami dropped that commercial.
Yeah, to show us that we was gonna finally finish the Planet Namek, and they like showed Super Saiyan Goku. I was like, oh, you really gonna see it?
It's like I knew that shit was about to happen because I had a Dragon Ball Z game where you turn Super Saiyan right on Planet Namek.
By the time I got to middle school, we had the internet, and that fucked us up in terms of spoilers.
Yeah,
we didn't know about Trunks yet, but we knew about Super Saiyan.
Yeah, there used to be this website I used to goddamn watch little videos of Dragon Ball on, but it would be in Japanese. And you know, obviously, you talk about the year 2000. You know that shit looking grainy as fuck.
Yeah.
That shit looking grainy. It's buffering. I forgot what the site is called, like Dragon Ball GT.com or something like that. I don't know.
There used to be this very infamous website called Dragon Moon X.
Yeah, I remember that.
Dragon Moon X.
Dragon Ball, Sailor Moon, hentai porn.
Yeah,
it was a
Pokemon.
Pokemon.
It was like the first hentai I had ever seen. I didn't know what hentai was, but kids would print out pictures on their printer and shit like that, and it'd be like Goku fucking the shit out of Sailor Moon. I'm just sort of like, what? Why?
Where did this come from?
We need to do a documentary on what happened to Sailor Moon X. That might be a little bit too horny of a subject for our channel content.
You have to put a mature sign up for that one.
I'm not gonna show any pictures.
Yeah.
I would actually use my blurring. I actually have blurring shit on here. I can blur stuff on here. Yeah.
Oh,
if I want to, I can actually show pictures, but it's gonna be. We might as well. If we're gonna get demonetized, we might as well do it early before we start making money, rather than let's just get it all out of our system. We'll be like refer to our Dragon Moon X video from 2 years ago when we first got started.
Like refer to the Dragon Moon X video, guys. I was like, I remember.
I thought Gurren Lagann was a weird anime at first.
Hell yeah, Gurren Lagann was weird. That's my shit. That's my shit, but goddamn, it is weird.
It was gangster as fuck on that shit, though, man.
That nigga was fighting the dudes. He pulled out that long ass sword. He was pulling out that sword for like 6 minutes.
I think a Gurren Lagann created the universe.
Yeah.
You know why I say that?
It's one bigger than the universe.
Gurren Lagann.
The fact that there was a Gurren Lagann bigger than like the fucking Virgo supercluster or whatever the fuck, and the Pillars of God or some shit like that, like
it's fucking crazy.
And it's like comparable to the size of the actual universe. This had to have been the machine that they used to create the universe.
Yeah,
whoever that they is.
That's fucking crazy.
So technically, in Gurren Lagann, is there a next level? Like, is there a person? That means that someone had to have built that machine for that to have built the universe. So you're telling me there's a whole other level of
Gurren Lagann that's outside.
That's another Gurren Lagann that built that one so it could build the universe. Like that anime, whoever made that, they did a lot of opiates, a lot of weed, and I love their imagination. I love it. But I couldn't even. Who goes to this level of scale? Even 40K doesn't got shit like that, bro.
No. But I think with 40K, what I do like is them just keeping it centered in one galaxy, because I think it would get out of hand if it were like you trying.
They do have 2 galaxies. The other one is Age of Sigmar, and the Chaos Gods exist there too.
True.
That's the only crossover that they have.
Yeah.
So people say that that's canon, though. The Chaos Gods do exist in both of those realities.
So technically,
because they're assholes. I think Slanesh got trapped in Age of Sigmar. Hold on. Let's take a break because we've been recording for an hour, and if we're going to start talking about 40K, that's on my other channel. Y'all don't get no free content on Straight OT. But we are OT, though.